You're standing on the edge of a river. All of a sudden, a flailing, drowning child comes floating by. Without thinking, you dive in, grab the child, and swim to shore. Before you can recover, another child comes floating by. So you dive in and rescue her as well. Then another child drifts into sight. And another, and another. Eventually, hopefully, some wise person will ask, who keeps chucking these kids in the river? And they'll head upstream to find out. Every time, people have to take medications to make up for the fact that they couldn't afford good food. We're suffering from the results of downstream thinking. Thinking upstream means making smarter decisions about what kind of country we want. What better goal could Canada have than creating the conditions for all people to enjoy true health and experience physical, mental, and social well-being? It's the best way to measure our success. And upstream thinking is the way we get there.
So we know things, I don't need to be telling all of you this, but we know things, right? Such as housing, early childhood development, income, all are what is at the deep root of health and creating health, improving health for our populations. And it's very complicated.
Local governments that wish to can send their requests through to us, and if it isn't specifically around healthy built environment, we'll find the people that have the content expertise. Certainly bring resources, both evidence and staff, to the table. We're more than happy to engage with any local government. However you want us, we're there. The theoretical is lovely, but the practical is even better.
Okay, so I'm going to be speaking about climate change and health today, and I really like this quote about the evidence. And so a majority of scientists out there who publish, I'd say over 95%, now understand and support that climate change does impact and endanger human health. So this is whether it's Margaret Chan from the WHO or Pope Francis in his encyclical, his papal letter to popes, or President Obama. This is what people are talking about.
And so if anyone out there is working in an area where you think, hey, I can connect to that, I can see how that would be supporting the work that I'm doing in my area, then we should at least have a conversation about that.
Having that person, a coordinator across Interior Health for each school district to help help teachers to do that work and fill out that paperwork is so critical when so much is off the side of your desk. So I think the model of the coordinator has been so beneficial to leverage other opportunities.
So to get the school district and to get all of our 6-member municipalities to get EIB at the table initially, we're all big achievements, and now that we've got this entrenched into our strategic plan and our business plans, this focus on healthy living, really, I think our biggest role is probably going to be advocacy. I think what we can do is we can bring all of those 14 jurisdictions in the South Okanagan Similkameen around one table, and or even Angelique's had the opportunity to meet with at our Joint Chiefs table and talk about how they can get involved and where we're going with that. And we've tagged into our community-to-community meetings so that all of our First Nations and municipalities and stakeholders get an idea of what the Healthy Living Coalition is doing.
And we have advisory committees that we look to for resource and recommendations, referrals, but you have it all. So if you had time to come, because there's an education that has to happen.
So yeah, I think so. I would speak on behalf of all of us. We would. So I was fortunate to speak recently at the Southern Interior Local Government Association, actually on
SILGA,
a longer presentation actually on climate and health. This is sort of the abbreviated version, but it was great to have the audience there, including some from regional and local and municipalities, and they actually have invited us to come and speak on the topic, and so we're ready to go.
We say we have a healthcare system, and we think of healthcare as something that we create, and most often we think of it in the form of acute care. So somebody comes to the hospital, they're sick, they get treated and they get better, and we create their health through treating their disease or their illness. But creating healthy communities is quite a different matter. We don't create the healthy communities, we create the conditions from which a healthy community emerges. And that's where it gets really tricky.